Maribel Dominguez knows what it's like to play against the U.S. women's national team. So does Monica Ocampo. Those are two players that the USA must be concerned with. The U.S. have plenty of players like Abby Wambach that has Mexico concerned as well. It's the first time we've seen the USA since June the 20th.
The long road to a World Cup berth begins a year before the qualifiers, and coach Tom Sermanni has begun his assessment of players. While the Wambachs, Morgans, and Solos may all have firm places on the squad, the spotlight falls on fresh faces looking to earn a spot and young veterans looking to make their mark. No better opponent to do it against than regional rivals Mexico. Next on Fox Sports.
It's been several years since the U.S. women's national team made an appearance at RFK Stadium. In 7 previous tries, they came away with 7 wins. Tonight, they will be taking on their neighbors from the south. They'll take on CONCACAF rivals Mexico. Hope Solo will lead the way in goal, and players like Abby Wambach will lead the USA attack. And welcome everyone to our first international soccer match here on Fox Sports 1 alongside former World Cup winner Kate Markgraf. I'm JP Dellacamera. Kate, what does this game mean to these two sides?
Well, it's all about opportunity, but for different reasons. For Mexico, it's collective. How good are they right now as a team? And secondly, for the United States, it's all about individual opportunities. Make sure you leave this game with a good impression on Tom Sermanni's mind.
And let's talk about some of those individuals. Players like Sydney Leroux are aiming for more minutes with this team.
Well, this is a player that was normally a sub, but then she plays in the league in games that mattered, and she terrorized every single center back pair in the league. She's looking to be more than just a sub. She's looking to be a regular starter on this team at the international level.
It's a good attacking side for the U.S. in this calendar year. They're averaging better than 3 goals a game. There are 3 star players right there.
Well, those are 3, but then there's also 3 or 4 more at home that couldn't be available tonight. The U.S. has a great problem. They have too many choices, and Tom Sermanni, no one wants to be in his job right now trying to figure out the starting lineup.
And the young lady in the middle of that graphic, Alex Morgan, should probably have a question mark beside her name. For more on that, let's go to the 3rd member of our broadcast team down on the sideline, Jen Hildreth.
Well, JP, Alex Morgan went through about the first 20 minutes of training yesterday before coming over to the side and putting some ice on that left knee. She told me she pushed really hard to get back for the NWSL final on Saturday night. She did play for a few minutes, but she told me she has to make sure she feels she's back to 100% from that MCL sprain before she returns to the international stage. U.S. head coach Tom Sermanni said if there is any degree of risk at all, we're not going to take that chance. And guys, Alex Morgan spent most of warm-ups on the bench, and I think that's where you can expect her to stay tonight.
Thanks, Jen. So much for the offense. How about an outstanding defense that gives up less than a goal per game? The anchor is still 38-year-old Christy Rampone. She defies the age.
Well, she's the linchpin of this team. If you take her caps and then add up all the rest of the players' defenders' caps, she still has more than them. She can do everything. And this is a player that's going to have to guide all the younger players along, because World Cup's in 2 years. She will be 40. If she can play 6 games, that would be impressive, but it's time to give some younger players some experience.
And some of the younger players like Christy Mewis we will see tonight. We may see Leanne Robinson as well. Players that maybe the U.S. audience has not heard much about. We will hope to change that tonight. The NWSL final was this past Saturday in Rochester, and 2 teammates tonight for the U.S. women's national team had to play against each other on Saturday. Take a listen.
It's been a long season, so I think our team did really well under the circumstances, and we couldn't have asked for a better run. Obviously, the last game we didn't play as well as we wanted to get the win, but it's the way soccer goes sometimes.
We just, said good job to each other, and that was about it. Now we're here with this and focusing on Mexico. So.
And staying with the NWSL, this young lady had a fantastic season, Monica Ocampo.
Well, she really grew as the season went on, and she became the dominant attacking force for the New Jersey Sky Blue team. Watch for her and her left foot, striking from distance 20 to 35 yards out.
Spoke to the players on both teams yesterday. They are ready for this one. So are the fans at RFK Stadium. Kate and I are ready to call the game for you. The USA versus Mexico. Starting lineups and the kickoff when we come back to our coverage live on Fox Sports 1. RFK Stadium is the place. There's usually a great atmosphere when the national team plays here, whether it's the women or the men. Tonight, it's the women, USA versus Mexico. Time to bring you our starting lineups for these two sides. Start with the U.S.
Well, the United States is going to start in a 4-4-2, and this is a lineup that has one eye on the present and one eye in the future. The future, the youth movement that's going on. Number 6, Dunn. Number 8, Mewis. And number 23, Tim Rack, the Rookie of the Year for the NWSL. Watch her glide on the ball as she takes players on. She is just something special.
For Mexico, some familiar faces as well. Also, some newcomers from their under-20 squad. The
entire back line of Mexico is from the under-20 World Cup that happened last year in Japan. Leo Cuellar, the head coach, told us he wants his team to be more aggressive, and you can tell by the formation of 4-4-2. They usually and traditionally have been starting in a one front with two fast forwards that love to counterattack. The United States better be aware of them at all times on the defensive side.
Our match referee is from Barbados. It is Jillian Martindale. USA will be in the white, Mexico in green. Final huddle. Maribel Dominguez, no surprise, was the leader on that side. Abby Wambach, although she does not wear the captain's armband, Christy Rampone does. Abby is a leader as well.
She is, and she's more the verbal, loud leader. You can tell by her body language, and it's a good compliment with Christy Rampone, who's a lot calmer, and she just guides the back four. But they're lucky to have such strong leadership with players with so much experience.
We are underway from RFK Stadium. And right away out of the back, Murillo sends it upfield. There's one in the air. The U.S. was looking to capture it there. Right side towards the speedy O'Reilly. She tapped that one away from Robles. On that left side, it is Robles. She came in late yesterday on a flight from Spain. She's been playing over there for the last few years. Off that quick throw in. O'Reilly got it from Dunn. U.S. looking long for Wambach. Mexico has to know that's coming. Right side, O'Reilly. Looking to use her speed, cutting inside instead of going wide. Overlapping run is being made. She'll take it to a crowded middle. Mexico relentless on the pressure. Chasing her all over there was Sierra. Back the other way. Long ball to the top. The flag stays down. A chance here to come up against Solo in front. Cut off by Dunn. Mexico looking for the chance in front. And they lost that opportunity. Quick shot by Dominguez goes out. Well, that was unfortunate on that break.
Well, you get to see Crystal Dunn, the newcomer, holding the entire Mexican front line on. So that through ball is definitely on for Nate Cuellar, running onto it. She's got incredible speed, and usually for Seattle has been finishing those chances where she gets one-on-one with the keeper. But look at the recovery speed of the United States back line. That's what you have with Christy Rampone, the team captain, who's still the fastest player on the field. But that is not the start the United States wanted, but Mexico has to be happy with how they're coming out.
U.S. had a day of training. That's not an excuse. Mexico's trained for a week, and both of these teams are looking forward to a little bit of a break in the schedule, especially the U.S. It's been a long year with the NWSL season just ending on Saturday. Gathered in by the U.S. Halfway line. Pass ahead. O'Reilly. Tried to drop it back. O'Reilly looked to get the return. Could not. It's coming back the other way. Held up on this left side. 7 is Rangel. Robles. Rangel holding, looking long. Some good targets now for Mexico. That's Cuellar, number 10 in the green. Got a good shot off, but it was stopped. Smothered, no rebound from Solo.
Mexico's movement off the ball is what is unlocking the United States at the moment. Rangel hits a ball in to Dominguez because Cuellar had just popped off the back line unmarked and gets a free shot at goal. The United States has to tidy up on the back end and know where their players are and step the players in the shooting range.
We have throw-in coming up here for the United States. 3 minutes gone. First half. Dunn on the right, trying to cross it. She'll have a second try at it. Trying to get to the end line, couldn't get across. Deflected in a bad spot right at the middle. But Dominguez will settle it. and move it ahead. That's Perez, 17 in green, all the way to that right side. Mexico have a lot more offensive options than we've seen them in past years, certainly. Feel it's O'Reilly. Try to leave it off there. LaRue. Dunn. And in the middle for Carly Lloyd. Playing a little bit deeper tonight, perhaps, than normal.
Well, she should get used to that opportunity of playing defensive center mid, especially with Shannon Box pregnant now and out to the spring. They're looking for some options at the holding center mid.
Mewis played for Kansas City in the NWSL, one of 6 players on this team who could make that claim. I wonder how nervous she might be tonight. It's not her first cap, but she's only had a handful, and that's unusual. The outside backs with a half a dozen caps pretty much coming into this game. When's the last time we've seen that, or have we even seen that?
We haven't seen that, except unless Tom Sermanni has been the coach. Coach Pia Sundhage, the one thing she was consistent for is putting the same 11 out game in, game out, regardless of how they're playing. Tom Sermanni has only been consistently inconsistent with every single roster.
Ball was played back awkwardly to Solo. It goes out for a corner, so a little bit of a rattled look, if you will, for this U.S. women's national team. But it's early. Monica Ocampo will take this corner. Had a great year with Sky Blue. 8 goals. She'll cross it here. Cuellar was there. It's played away and then sent in wide. But who would have thought that Mexico would have the better and more chances than the U.S. this early in the game?
Well, they pull a short corner so they get a better angle and keep it away from Solo. Becky Sauerbrunn clears it out of danger for the United States, and so they can organize and get back and be ready for the second corner.
It's played short, and now into the box where it's going to be swept away by Lauren Holiday. She used to be Lauren Cheney, married to an NBA star, Jrue Holiday now, so there's the name change, and what a terrific year she had in the NWSL. Led the league in goals, assists, and also was the league MVP. That'll help the confidence. Upfield off LaRue. She and Wambach up top. Cut off by Mexico, but the foul was called. Warbus was over there. Mewis. Looking for Holiday. That's cut off. Head-to-head, USA has been the dominating side, only losing once to Mexico. But 3 out of the last 4 games have been decided by 1 goal. So when Mexico has played at their best, they've been more competitive lately against the U.S.
Well, one thing that it did expose is the U.S. gets really frustrated playing against teams that are super organized and compacted back. And that's what they've been doing. But this is a different Mexico team. They're coming out to play against the United States.
Coming back, Ocampo was stripped of the ball. That's Lloyd giving it up to Mewis. Looking for help upfield. LaRue. Outside O'Reilly. That's better from the U.S. O'Reilly looks to cross towards the back post area. Timrek. In her debut, that one's blocked to Dominguez. Dominguez will clear it. It goes out of play. Cuellar was in the area, but that almost looked like a clearance nonetheless from Dominguez. You wonder what Timrek's thinking. First appearance, you remember your first national team game?
Yeah, I was scared. I was terrified. I was going in for our team captain, Carla Overbeck, back in 1998. But, you know, she has just a really interesting outlook. She's like, it's an incredible opportunity to go play against some of the best players and show people what I can do.
When did the nerves go away, if they did, in that first game?
I don't think the nerves didn't go away till about 7 years into my career. After the World Cup, that's for sure, in '99.
Solo's on the ball for the U.S. Sending it forward on the left. Mewis is on that side. Nice ball up the middle. On the turn, it was laid off by Lloyd. Dunn for O'Reilly, again with a cut inside. If she cuts inside, that sideline's open for Dunn with her speed against Robles. The cross, back post area, headed down. Big save by Santiago, and then the clearance. Best chance for the United States. First chance as well. Mexico's had more of the opportunity and more of the ball than we expected here in the 9th minute. Ocampo drives it in right to Solo.
Well, all the opportunities are coming from out wide, and the speed. Crystal Dunn separates her from her defender. Sydney Leroux is coming back for the ball, trying to get ahead on it. She cannot get enough power. Abby's already gone advance. Santiago laying her body out, getting anything on the ball, bounces to her defender, and they're able to clear it from danger.
Wambach reached for that as best she could, helped to keep possession for the U.S. O'Reilly played this year with the Boston Breakers of the NWSL, cuts across, looks to get a return, got it from Wambach, tried to lift it over the top. Intended for Erica Timrak. She'll catch up to it. Leads Rookie of the Year in the Women's League. Played it across. Bad clearance again from Mexico. But they'll come away with it on the breakout pass. Cut off and cleared out of play by Christy Rampone. Let's go downstairs, talk more about young Crystal Dunn. Here's Jen Hilbert.
She's been busy, hasn't she? She is working up and down this sideline, guys, and Christy Rampone directing that defense. Already maybe knowing she can rely on Crystal Dunn with that big save off the goal line. Her college coach, Anson Dorn, said wherever there's a problem, she solves it. Offense, defense, he can play her at an attacking mid where she plays now, or he can play her in the back where she played much of last season for the Tar Heels on their run to the NCAA championship.
It's a good point, Jen, her versatility, and I'm thinking here, Kate, that she's only played really right back, left back, central defender for this team. Do you see her as more of a defender, or could she play in the midfield for this team?
I see her as more of a defender. The only thing that might be lacking is a little bit of her size. So if she can just dominate and time her head balls on all air balls, then she might have a chance to be more dominant and make more starting lineups. But when I talked to Coach Sermani, he says every single camp she stands out and I have to stick her in the lineup. She's just making herself a starter for this team. Listen, she can play attacking center mid, she can play forward, but where she really excels with that speed, space to run into is outside back.
On this left side, it's Mewis. Down that far side, the run is made. Mewis across, Wambach open! She has the first one.
Mexico has had most of the chances this game, but this is, again, coming from the flanks. There is no one out there. They have time and space to create, and the man marking for Mexico is lacking, and Abby Wambach is wide open. The best goal scorer in the world with 160 goals, now is at 161. It's an easy shot. Santiago does get a tip on it, but look at her movement. She pulls herself back out into that gap, doesn't keep running forward, reads the fly of the ball. It's a good ball by Christy Mewis, the outside back for the United States. She had the calm and the composure to not get frantic and find her mark and deliver it to the slot spot.
So it's goal number 161 for Wambach and counting. Her 20th goal against Mexico. She scored more goals against Mexico than anyone else, and that's in just 20 games, and that's the first one she's put in off the ground. 8 of those goals off of headers. 1 was a penalty kick. So the U.S. strikes first. After a very slow start, here's O'Reilly. Outside, the shot, far post. Looked like it was a winner, but it left her foot.
The best thing about Heather O'Reilly is you know this move is coming, but no one is better at the little touch, and a big one because of her explosion. She burns every defender with this, and she just nearly misses the goal, just gets a little bit too far on the inside of the ball, which forces the strike to go wide at the angle she was at. But that is her favorite move, but watch, no one ever stops it.
3 Olympics, a couple of World Cups. Would have had a 3rd World Cup were not for a very serious knee injury she had before that 2003 World Cup. Coming all the way back to the U.S. end. What changed here? What did the U.S. settle down after a very slow start, especially on the defensive side?
Well, they found the space on the wings to create, and then they were able to string some passes together. And just, you know, they have not played together. Imagine you haven't seen somebody in a year, and then you see each other. It takes a little while to get reconnected.
It's unusual. It's a 75-day break between games. Here's Lloyd from distance. That shot was right on the money, but Santiago was right there. Had a lot of power to it.
nothing that Carly likes more than running with the ball and dribble and hammering off a shot. She has got a cannon for a leg and very accurate. Santiago, we're getting to see this 19-year-old who already has played in a Women's World Cup at the age of 17. Look at her poise. She holds on to it, has soft hands, doesn't give up a rebound, and they're able to go the other way.
Here's Dominguez. And it goes in on goal. Easy play for Hope Solo. Tom Sermanni yet to lose with this team. What changes do you see him making compared to Pia Sundhage? They're obviously different personalities.
Well, he actually gives players chances to get in the lineup. Pia, it was like trying to hit your head against a brick wall trying to get in the starting lineup, and it was really hard to play yourself out of it. But Tom, he's given everyone a chance, first of all. Second off, he will execute the game plan and find players that will do that on the field. With Pia, she always said style, possession, but then no one ever executed, but no one ever got punished for it and got subs. So that's the difference with Tom. He's going to hold him a bit more accountable because he has the depth and the roster to do so.
Our last foul was on Kenti Robles. Now Mexico has to defend. Too much space there given to O'Reilly, and she played it across. Brought down by the left foot of Mewis. Off the tackle. It's going to go out. Belongs to Mexico. They need to settle things down, maybe with a little possession of their own. Wambach with that goal. That's Leo Cuellar. He's been their coach since before the 1999 Women's World Cup, so he's lasted a very long time. They've made a lot of improvement in the federation. They've also spent more money. Putting players in the NWSL was part of that money going in the right place.
Well, he's hoping that that money to subsidize those players' salaries on those teams are going to help them develop, being a professional environment in a league that is the most physical and fastest league in the world. If you can play in that league with your technical skill, you're going to have a good chance to improve.
LaRue with their speed almost got to that, but Murillo tackled it out. Throw it on the far side of the field for Christy Mewis. Attended Boston College. Sends it into the box. That's cut off. Gathered back in. And then sent it towards the cutting O'Reilly. That's cleared by Mexico. U.S. back in the ball. Establishing more possession. Holiday's pass to the outside. Mewis brings it. LaRue. O'Reilly. Turning, couldn't get the shot off, went down on that challenge. U.S. still has it. Quick one by Temerick would right to go. Good awareness, though.
Sydney LaRue again on the flanks. Heather O'Reilly, a right midfielder, trying to make something in the box. She is a converted forward. But look at this team. This whole entire midfield four of the United States, they're moving. They're off the ball movement. They are finding themselves in different spots, and it's making it very unpredictable for this Mexican team to try to defend them.
Mewis off the left foot for LaRue. Hard tackle from Murillo as this ball goes out. LaRue is okay. Murillo is one of a few collegiate players on the Mexican squad. College players on both sides of these lineups tonight.
Murillo plays for former head coach Greg Ryan, so you know that she's going to be a big, tough, hard, physical defender. And it's interesting that Mexico does not have their best center back, Alicia Garcia Mendez, but they did bring 2 5'7" center backs that both play in college, trying to get them used to this game and get used to playing against Wambach in the air and in Sydney LaRue in the box.
And the college season is obviously underway, so these players had to leave their college team. In some cases, they're probably not missing any games, more so training, since this is a Tuesday night. Santiago will put it back into play. Only had a few games this year with the Boston Breakers. It's intended on the far side for Perez. Now up the middle it comes. Flag goes up. Mexico is offside. Mexico's back line, we mentioned the under-20s. For more on that, Jen Hildreth.
Well, it is a young back line there from Mexico, and as you guys have noticed, when the U.S. just keeps bringing players in, when the U.S. is able to keep the ball in their attack, Mexico cannot keep up man marking wise with the numbers. They're leaving people open in the box. Abby Wambach, as you saw, wide open on her goal, and she was left open again a moment ago. They are really having difficulty when the U.S. strings a few passes together to stay on their marks.
See how Mexico contends with this U.S. offense, trailing by a goal in the early going after a good start for Mexico. They look confident coming out. Sometimes teams play against the United States and they almost look scared coming out. Too much respect. But Mexico came out strong.
Now, Mexico has beaten the United States, and in the most important game when it mattered, the World Cup qualifier, when they started strong. And a big reason why they won that game was because Dominguez, she scored the first goal within 2 minutes of that game.
She's as close to an Abby Wambach as Mexico has ever had. 114 caps, 74 goals, and she was scoring goals back in 1999. So she's the one person that's really stayed with this club, it seems, forever. And her coach, Leo Cuellar, was high in her praise yesterday, talking about her being the icon of Mexican soccer and how much respect the younger players have for her. So you'd still feel she's going to be there for the next World Cup.
Well, like every hero, all that does is help grow some more homegrown players. But the thing about Dominguez is she's so difficult to defend. And this we get to have a look at what happened. The ball's coming in.
Was it the lower portion of your screen?
Yeah, that's not good when you see that. But she's that player. She'd sit in between two defenders. I played against her multiple times, and she scored against me multiple times. And she just sits in between two players looking for that ball that's going to be played in between that seam. And she times her run perfectly where she never ends up offsides.
She was very good in her praise yesterday of the NWSL, where she played for the Chicago Red Stars. That season just ended on Saturday. Portland Thorns are the champions. She just pulled up on her own.
Oh, you just see her pull up and it takes a little bit of an awkward landing. She is so experienced. She knows when something's not right and she needs to get attended to.
Mexico playing with 10 players now as Dominguez is being treated on the far sideline. The pass up from Lloyd finds its way. Timrak for the cutting Lewis. Drop back. Lloyd holds it. Switches. Brought down by O'Reilly. It's tackled out by Robles. Throwing for the U.S. Crystal Dunn getting it in quickly for O'Reilly. Trying to tap it to herself. Robles didn't bite. And now O'Reilly goes down in the box. But there is no call. Taken back. The Holiday pass. Wambach. Big save. Santiago rebound. LaRue. And if the flags stay down, that's a good goal. 2-0 U.S.
Well, if Wambach is not scoring it, she is setting it up. She brings so many people and attention to her, and she puts the balls in positions where goalkeepers start to give up rebounds. Lauren Cheney draws the defender in, and Wambach exploits the space that's open. But credit Sydney Leroux for following onto it. Santiago, unfortunately, rebounds it into the path of Sydney Leroux. Sydney Leroux is excellent with her head. Probably second best to Wambach, and that was an easy header for her, but she times that perfectly and puts it decisively in the back of the net. But if you're Mexico, you need to shore up your man marking in the box, get touch tight, and you know what? Let them have the outsides, but then compact your center. They're a little bit too stretched out right now inside the 18.
We should point out that goal was scored while Mexico were playing a player down. Dominguez is still on the far side, but now she's ready to come back in. But that goal came against Mexico while they were playing shorthanded. Dominguez is back on the field. Here's a breakaway up the middle. Holiday off the fingertips. That's LaRue. That's the third goal.
Credit Lauren Cheney with chance. Wambach with the flick. Cheney's going back into space, exploiting it. The Wambach left, and Sydney Leroux again just following the play. I love forwards that aren't involved but still continue with the play, still run, hoping for the best, optimistic, and when they get rewarded, that means they're just going to keep doing it again. Just incentivizes them for that.
So the route is on. It didn't start that way. Great through ball up the middle from Holiday, and we talked about LaRue at the top. Great as a sub, but now she's going to be making a claim under a new coach for more minutes, more playing time.
When I talked to Tom Sermanni, he said, honestly, I'd never really heard of her. Like, he's like, I knew she was good off the bench. I thought she was just a little bit more of a physical player.
That's how Alex Morgan started, all right? Off the bench, super sub, and then became so good that you had to start it.
That's exactly what happens. And the one thing he said, he was surprised at how good of a soccer player she was, how she could hold the ball. When I talked to Heather O'Reilly during the season, why she was so good, she's like, everyone would be so surprised at what a good defender Sydney Leroux is. She is not afraid to leave her feet, and she makes defenders nervous because she's such a physical presence.
Had a great year in the Pro League with 11 goals. Here's a nice ball through. Ocampos on the run. Picks it up, and the flag was up on Mexico. Sydney Leroux with a couple of goals already. Saw in the Olympics, had a goal in 4 games as a sub. The U.S. continues their good run here at RFK Stadium. After a slow start, took a little bit to get their feet settled. Now the U.S. is cruising. Taking apart that under-20 back line of Mexico. O'Reilly will get it from Holiday. That ball to the back post again. A couple of players were there for the U.S. and may have run into each other. As a result, it's a goal kick.
Again, the wide space is what is being open. Robles, number 2 for Mexico, is usually a right back. They've asked her to play on the left side. I'm guessing it's because she's very fast, and so he could stay up with number 9, Heather O'Reilly. But they really need to shore up and prevent service. If you need to send 2 players out there, or prevent service wide, because right now that's where the United States is breaking Mexico down.
Santiago will call for this. She won't turn 19 till October yet. This is her 35th international appearance. To the back it comes. Sent forward by Sierra. Mexico look to get some numbers forward, trailing early in this one, 3-0, only in the 26th minute. Off that flick. One's blocked away. The U.S. look to get it back. O'Reilly nods it down. Holiday now on the right side. Dunn. Leroux. Holiday. That's the quickness, speed of play. It's made this team so successful on offense. Mewes at the end, shooting it, stopped by Santiago, but that had to be 6 to 8 good touches, positive touches up the field. A chance at goal.
That's great that it came from possession instead of just a big long ball. That is a change in the United States style of play, that they're able to start to do that more consistently.
The USA foul will give Mexico a free kick.
Ocampo with the ball goes into a tough tackle with Sauerbrunn. Sauerbrunn only gave up 2 fouls the entire NWSL season. She's a player that's excellent defending and separates the ball from the player, but is guilty of a foul there.
She was the NWSL Defender of the Year. Into the box it comes. Defensive header won by Wambach. Sent back upfield by Mexico. That's cut off as well. Holiday. First pass is a good one. O'Reilly. Come in and commit, though, to the attack as soon as USA wins the ball. Everybody pushing up. Intended for Timrak. It's going to be taken over on that far sideline, and Mexico will finally get some possession. Just as you say, that ball is turned over, and Wambach takes it, tries to lead Leroux in for a hat trick. Leroux's turnaround shot is blocked and cleared. Last time they played, Wambach had a hat trick in about a half an hour against South Korea, and also set the record, beating Mia Hamm's long-standing record. It was 158 goals. Wambach had 4 goals in that game.
That was incredible. That was one of those nights when you looked in her eyes, honestly, you could tell she was going to do it. She's one of the few players that whatever she puts her mind to, her emotion inspires her performance, and she gets it done.
Dunn with it. Abby had so many great years playing with Mia Hamm, idolized her, played well together, and then in the end breaks Mia's long-time goal-scoring record. Here's Dunn. Looking. Sending it in. It's a weak ball in, and an easy play for Santiago.
That's the one area when you talk to the United States coaching staff all the way down from the technical director of the youth teams up, that's the area they want to improve in. This is what I would like to see as well, is can they hold the ball in the attacking third, so from the 35 on towards the opponent's goal, and be unpredictable, pass it around, almost create an umbrella of players so that the other team can't clear it out. Right now, that's something that the United States, when they do possess the ball, it's usually in defensive midfield third. That is the next evolution for this team.
Demures pass ahead, looking for Wambach, and she gets it ahead of Sierra. She's on her way. She has LaRue with her. Leads it for LaRue, brings it down. It's blocked. Holiday trying to follow it up. O'Reilly in there. And that's going to be made safely by Santiago. Good pass from Wambach.
It's a great pass. She is not a selfish player. She looks up, does a little chip in, knowing that it would be blocked if it was a little bit higher than the Mexican defender's foot. And unfortunately, the touch gets away from LaRue and prevents her from getting a hat trick.
Perez has it stripped away. Sent ahead off Cuellar. Come up, big shot over the bar.
There's that left foot I was talking about. Cuellar comes off the back line. Ocampo just sits in that little bit of a space. She's not afraid to take it 1 time, 2 time, or even 40 yards out.
Mexico to make a change. Liliana Mercado is getting ready to sub in. She's a college player from Mexico. So we'll have to see who's going to be coming in or coming out for her. Here's LaRue, 1 against 3. Doesn't seem to matter. Comes in. There's the hat trick. She was determined to get it. 4-0 U.S. Second straight USA hat trick in a couple of games inside of 30 minutes.
It all starts with a long ball from Hope Solo. And look at LaRue at the last second, drags her player in, then spins out when she's Abby's going to win it. A long touch, knowing no one else can keep up with her pace, and then hits it against the flow, making it impossible to goalkeeper to Santiago to change her momentum. She's leaning to her right. She hits it to her left. Mexico, it's got to be better. It's 4-on-2 on there. But again, it's a young squad, and all of these are going to be learning lessons that are going to be valuable when these teams compete again for one of the World Cup spots later in 2014.
Canadian-born, remember the stir she created north of the border when the U.S. played there. Canada wishes they had her. Canada's got a very good squad these days. Christine Sinclair and others on that squad. Imagine if they had Sydney Leroux.
I don't think that'll ever not be a sore subject for the Canadians.
No, I'm sure. Wait till the next World Cup. Hosted by Canada and televised here on Fox Sports 1. 2015. Be here before you know it. Mexico with it. They still have not made that sub. The Lloyd pass ahead. Holiday has O'Reilly wide open. Finds her inside the box. Cut off. A pass not quite on the money. When Mexico is able to clear, we may see the sub now. Let's see who's going to be coming out. It is going to be Rangel who will be leaving. Probably not an injury. Probably tactical at this point as they're getting destroyed in the midfield.
We'll probably see Ocampo go back to Heather O'Reilly. She's a little bit quicker than Rangel. And with Mercado, you have a player that's not very quick, but someone who can set the tempo, knows when to speed up, when to slow it down. So to me, that's a sign saying, I'm going to be a little bit more conservative defensively and let my technical players take over and look for the counterattack ball.
Tough night for Mexico, and we're nowhere near halftime yet. They had good possession the first 3 or 4 minutes. Had a couple of opportunities. Nothing happened for them, and then since then, they're just giving shots and goals. LaRue out wide. She already has 3. Wambach has 1. Timrek leaves it off. She thought it was someone in the white behind. Instead, 3 or 4 Mexico players coming back in the green and white uniforms. The look is for Mercado instead. Into the middle it comes. Switched over to Ocampo from Warbis. Monica Ocampo into a crowded area. Mercado stepping in, winning it. U.S. That was Lloyd who made the play. She'll get it back from Holiday. Lost it there to Dominguez. And now Mercado will take over. Warbis doubled up there. It was O'Reilly and then LaRue trying to get in there. In front of the bench area, it goes out for a throw-in for the United States. Have to feel a little bit bad for Leo Cuellar. Got his team ready to go for this. Thought his team would be ready for this, and then all of a sudden, it's gotten away from them.
They're missing 2 of their key players, though. Teresa Nola, who decided for personal reasons to take her name off. She's supposed to be here. She just didn't show up, and they had to replace her. And then Garcia Mendez, who's an incredible defender. She's American-born. She played at Stanford, and she's in Germany right now. But she can hold down that defense. She's a great communicator. She's a leader, and she's experienced. That means she could help pull this Mexican team out a little bit out of the funk they're in right now and give them a little bit more confidence in the back.
Pushed all the way back to Santiago. He's had no help tonight. U.S. with some high pressure, looking for more. It was Murillo. Got it for to Cuellar. Mercado, 6 in the green and white of Mexico, going forward. Cuellar's pass, and Jennifer Dominguez off the mark. Holiday stepped in, couldn't win it. And Mexico are unable to keep the ball for any length of time. So they're constantly defending here. And with that inexperience in terms of defending, they're making a lot of mistakes.
They are, and you know what I think that means is how tired are they going to be by the end of this game. When you're constantly defending and you never have the ball, you're worried this game's going to open up a lot more if you're Leo Cuellar, the head coach for Mexico.
Sauerbrunn start back her 45th cap tonight. Pushing it forward, finding Wambach. Sauerbrunn continues for LaRue, dropping it back. Lloyd from distance. Timrak in the box, over the bar.
Well, she's not afraid. She's very courageous. We've seen a backfield, but unfortunately none of her teammates were near her. She takes a touch and tries to hit a shot. For her first rookie, first cap, it's pretty impressive. So Lloyd finds her wide where all the spaces. She looks up and hits it. Unfortunately, she's leaning back a little bit.
For more on Timrak, let's go downstairs to Jen Hilbert.
Well, guys, let's see how aggressive Erica Timrak is going to be, because we've seen her in training and in the NWSL season. When she takes people on, she is so good at gliding past them. I think you used that word, Kate, and it's a great one to describe the way she moves with the ball. But she admittedly was a little nervous yesterday at training. Lauren Holiday, her teammate with FC Kansas City, said she had to pull her aside and go over to her and say, come on, go at them. You're good at this. Give her a little confidence out there.
Jen, you think it's helping her with all of her teammates here? There are 5 other teammates here to kind of ease that transition, right?
Yeah, nothing like a little comfort level. I think a 4-goal cushion also increases your comfort level.
Yeah, I would think so, right? Kate, that takes away some of the nerves, I would think.
Absolutely have nothing to lose at this point. Just go have fun.
Here's Lloyd driving it in. Passing, not shooting. O'Reilly picks it up. She'll shoot from there. Save Santiago. From up here at this level, it looked like it was going to get underneath her. She did well.
It comes again from a wide spot. A poor clearance by the Mexican player. And Heather O'Reilly with a low-driven shot, forcing the keeper to make a save. And Santiago does a good job. She gives him a little bit of a rebound, but she's able to contain it and get it out of danger.
O'Reilly from Dunn, pushing it back. Sauerbrunn will be the closest one to it. Back to Hope Solo, still considered to be the best goalkeeper in the world. Backed up tonight by Nicole Barnhart, who was chosen the best goalkeeper this year in the NWSL. Of course, Solo had been injured with that wrist and missed several games. Mercado up the middle, and it comes all the way back to Solo. 38th minute. U.S. with a dominating performance, 4-0. She scored. Wambach scored first, and LaRue had 3 goals in about 9 minutes. That's how far apart those goals were spaced unofficially. Dominguez trying to get that one through to Cuellar. Mexico showing a little bit more imagination, a little more creativity, but that final pass is not working.
They're just a little too far separated from one another. It's a little bit predictable when you're 30 yards out trying to hit a straight ball. That margin of error is off on that angle. If it's a little bit wide, then you have time to run onto it. So that straight ball behind Sauerbrunn and Rampone will not work because they are such good defenders, because they have so much experience.
Taken away. Here's Mexico looking for their first good chance in a while. And that will sail wide from Dominguez. He's played in a lot of places, including Barcelona a few years back.
If she had the funding and the resources that the Americans do and did, she would have a lot more goals. If she had the players around them that the Americans had at the time when she was at the peak, she's 34 now, she would have been one of the names that we always said, like a Marta, like a Sinclair. A lot of these players, it's incredible what they can do with such little support, financial and institution-wide.
I remember her from 1999, and besides her finishing, her speed.
That's world class. Yeah,
fly.
It's a fifth gear. It's like an Alex Morgan Sydney Leroux. It's just a whole different speed.
This is Dominguez. Bending that one, it goes up and over. Hope Solo. Well, she's trying to lead by example now. Settle things down. Wants the ball more. Trying to do more with the ball than some of her teammates.
Yeah, she definitely has a little fire on her. She always has a little bit of grit and that never say die attitude, regardless if the score is 4-0. She's not going to quit until the final whistle blows.
Dunn with a pass ahead. Wambach from O'Reilly. Back to Heather O'Reilly, who gets it forward on the turn. Holiday, bending ball, finds its way. Timrak will shoot it. It was blocked. Looked like she had a path toward goal. And now it's cleared away. Gathered back in by the U.S. Mewis. Coming all the way back to Sauerbrunn. Lloyd for O'Reilly. Opening it ahead. Holiday. For Dunn. It's a nice move by the young player. O'Reilly trying to square that ball. It's picked off by Mexico. It's Dominguez. O'Reilly took it back away with help from Dunn. Then Dominguez clips Dunn. Foul and a free kick for the U.S.
Well, it may not have worked out, but that's what the U.S. coaches want. They want them to be patient and try to pass it around. The only way you will improve with that is by trying it. And guess what? If you lose the ball right there, guess what? You can win it back, and then you're already attacking again.
Free kick from long distance. Lauren Holiday. Bending ball up for grabs. And there's another goal for the U.S. Sydney Leroux. 4 goals. That one was almost too easy. Good service from Holiday. Good finish from Leroux.
Holiday with an excellent service, bending away from the keeper, but putting it in a spot where Leroux can run onto it. She is good at timing her headers, but also the direction she can put on it. She can redirect it, and this time she redirected it in a space away from the goalkeeper where she could not get it. But she's a physical player. You know, she did have a little chip on her shoulder all season long, saying, I want to be mentioned with the greats. I am a good forward. She wasn't arrogant about it. She was like, I know I can play and start for that team. And she's making her case tonight.
Holiday will get an assist. Leroux will get the goal. 4 goals for Sydney Leroux. Getting a rare start tonight, but making a lot more in the future. Ball is out. What a night for Leroux, matching Wambach's performance from the last game. In the first 11 games of this calendar year, 3 goals. Tonight, she's done herself. Corner kick for Perez. Mexico trying to just get one on the board before the first half closes. Won't get it with service like that. Coming back outside, Sierra. And a bouncer too, goes right to Solo. "32-year-old goalkeeper, Golden Glove winner at the 2011 World Cup. Sauerbrunn for Dunn. 43rd minute, all USA, a 5-0 lead. Leroux
with 4 goals. Abby Wambach, 1.
If Mexico could just sit in those passing channels more, sit in front if you're a midfielder, in front of where Sydney Leroux wants the ball, where Abby Wambach wants the ball, that's the only way they're going to prevent service. Right now, they're man marking, and if they're sitting a zone, they're not even defending it well.
Foul is going to be called on Mercado. And another USA free kick. More towards the middle than from where the last free kick was taken, and farther out. It's Christine Rampone. The most experienced player, most experienced active player in the world in terms of her caps. Setting it upfield. It's flicked in and just wide of Santiago. Well, the U.S. up 5-0, still looking for more. Christine Rampone still has a long way to go to catch Christine Lilly. I think that's one record that will stand with the Caps, but she's at 283. This is 284 for her, and still playing at a high level. Talked to us yesterday about having some minor knee surgery to clean up some things there, and her hope is to play next year, but she has not yet made that decision.
Well, she had an ACL tear back in 2001. It's not unusual a couple years later to have to clean up some of the extra scar tissue. But it's a player that has not lost her speed. And I talked to Coach Tom Sermanni. He said she runs more than most men do in the game, with all the stats and programs they have that they can assess that.
Campo looks for Cuellar. That's cleared away. The chest of Wambach, leaving it for O'Reilly. The look is for the open Leroux. Leroux finds Abby Wambach. Holiday pings it. And Timrak's last pass was not quite there. It goes easily to Santiago.
Timrak is used to having a traditional striker that just sits at the top, doesn't move much, that she can play off of. A couple of her balls, you can see, it's almost like she's used to playing for a Kansas City team, looking for Melissa Henderson or Teresa Noyola, who she usually would lay it off to. But you can see her creativity, you can see her thought process. Now she just has to adapt to the players that are around her and their tendencies.
1 minute added on here in stoppage time. Gathered in by Dunn. Sauerbrunn to Rampone. Started her career actually as a forward. Made the switch many years ago. Timrak in her debut. Not shy at all. Running against 3. Nice ball. Lloyd held up on pulling the trigger there. As a result, Mexico will try to come away with it with Dominguez. She lost it there to O'Reilly. Now to Dunn. His time is running out in this opening half. The Lloyd pass is blocked. Sauerbrunn. Rampone. Mewis. Well, the U.S. will find Mewis. She gave it up. Wambach returns it. Mewis' shot is blocked. Wambach passed up a shot there on her own, and that's going to do it. They're not going to allow the corner kick, and I don't blame them. A 5-0 game here at halftime. Sydney Leroux with 4. Thoughts of the first half?
Well, I thought the U.S. started a little bit weak, and Mexico had come at them. They're prepared to play, and then the U.S. started to get comfortable, get used to playing together. Remember, they have not been together since June. But there are changes to be made. We'd like to see who else he's going to bring on. Tom Sermanni is not afraid to utilize his entire bench tonight.
An incredible first half for young Sydney Leroux. She has scored 4 goals since the 21st minute. Abby Wambach also scored a goal. That was the first goal of the game for the U.S. They lead it 5-0. For a Fox Sports 1 update, here is Don Bell.
All right, thanks, JT. Here are 3 things you need to know. The Saints place linebacker Jonathan Vilma on the IR.
Welcome back, everyone, here at halftime. All USA, after a pretty slow start, they're up 5-0 over Mexico. This is the first game being played since the NWSL final that was played Saturday night in Rochester. Let's take you back to the highlights against Portland. How about this goal from Tobin Heath?
Well, Tobin Heath was the deciding factor in this game. A successful strike from distance. It's the first time she'll do it, and this was what sealed the deal. The red card for Kat Williamson. Constant fouls, never trying to play the ball, always trying to play Wambach. And then Buffalo, Western New York was pushing forward, didn't have numbers back to Christine Sinclair like she always does. Finds the gap, finds the seam, and runs and finishes her opportunity. Portland Thorns, first ever NWSL champion.
When we went that player down, all I thought was, this is it. This is us. This is where we step up. You know, like, we love that adversity. We love coming into a hostile environment. We love that. For some reason, our team feeds off of that. You can see that all season, you know. And we even had our own little crowd out there. So I think those moments, you know, actually bring us closer together rather than pull us apart. And that's just a tribute to this team and to the girls and to the character throughout the season.
Terrific goal from Tobin Heath and from Portland. Terrific night so far for the U.S. women's national team. They lead Mexico 5-0 at the half. The USA is putting on quite the soccer clinic tonight. It's only the first half, and that's your lopsided score. USA 5-0, their lead over Mexico. As we welcome you back alongside Kate Marcraft, I'm JP Dellacamera. After a bit of a slow start, you can't tell by that score, the U.S. just poured it on.
No, in the first 5 minutes, you thought for sure Mexico came out, and this was going to be a different side. It would not be a blowout. But then the half wore on, and then all of a sudden the United States started to dominate. They started using the width, and look what happens. The goals started coming. It started with the Abby Wambach goal. No surprise there. She's been their all-time leading goal scorer, and even against Mexico as well. It's her 20th against them in 20 games. Well, Christine Lewis with an inside overlapping run gets free with a one-time pass in. Abby Wambach unmarked in the box, and against the United States, you never want to leave a forward unmarked, and you're going to get punished if you do. Abby Wambach with her 161st goal of the game. And then going forward, Abby Wambach turning, but Sydney Leroux smart to follow her run. If you keep the shot on frame, the goalkeeper might give up a rebound. That's what Leroux was hoping for. And this is almost scripted. I have seen this so many times. Wambach checks, Holiday goes and finds the seam, gets onto it, and Leroux again with the follow through. And then in the 30th minute, we're going to see both of them going up for the head ball. Wambach and Leroux continues her run. Look at her take on 3 players. Look at that confidence. With a little bit of a weak shot, but that's okay because it was going into the direction the goalkeeper Santiago was facing. And then Lauren Holiday with her second assist of the night hits a perfect ball bending away from Santiago, the goalkeeper. No one puts a body on Sydney Leroux, and she will punish you in the air as she's the second best header on the United States team. First half numbers, no surprise that it's that lopsided. The biggest surprise for me, Mexico had 7 shots, 3 of those on goal, but couldn't really test Hope Solo. How about that percentage? 16 shots, 13 on goal, 5 goals. How do you beat that? I don't think you can, but I think you can sure try. And there are plenty of players on the United States bench that would like to contribute to the score sheet. Almost a foul-free game, just 7 total fouls, no cards. And coming up, women's international friendly, USA versus Canada. The venue still to be determined. We know the opponents. It's Friday, January the 31st of 2014. The USA versus Canada really established quite the rivalry now that Canada is much improved. We'll see what the second half brings for these fans at RFK Stadium. First half brought 5 USA goals, 4 from Sydney Leroux.
Ingeniously uses radar to alert you to possible collision threats.
Well, welcome back to RFK Stadium. We are about to start the second half, but before we do, we're going to talk to U.S. head coach Tom Sermanni, who's got to be pretty happy right about now. No Alex Morgan, but what on earth did you say to Sydney Leroux before this game?
Not very much. That's probably why she's done so well. You know, Sid's always a handful. She's been scoring goals for us all year, and tonight she's, you know, taking it almost to a new level.
So what do you want from the second half?
I want us to have good habits. You know, I think the scoreline's fairly conclusive now, but I want us to play with good habits, good speed of play, good tempo, good control, and make sure that we don't get sloppy.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
JP?
Thanks, Jen. I think that's why Katie's kept the same lineup except a change in goal. Nicole Barnhart.
Well, I think he just demands more from them. It's like that may be on, but right now Mexico, they might build some fortitude here and be a little bit tougher and not allow people into our box. That was what I'd be saying if I was Leo Cuellar, is have some pride here. Don't let them come into your box, but the United States has to be disciplined. It may be working right now, but it won't work against better teams, and that's what I think he's trying to say.
Stephanie Mayor has come in, replacing Maribel Dominguez. So that's one change. Mexico knows what Dominguez brings, so it's time to look at some other players, especially in a 5-0 game such as we have here. U.S. will have a throw-in. That rhythm that Sermanni talked about, he spoke yesterday about the shorter passing game, better connection, sometimes slowing the game down. I think he liked that rhythm in the first half, and that's why he doesn't want to inject other subs now, but I'm sure he's going to play everybody tonight. You can use 6 subs. Maybe Morgan is the only one we may not see.
Well, Morgan didn't warm up, so I doubt we will see her, but I think he's just saying he wants them to train different ways of breaking down defenses. I would like to see a little bit more patience and build it in this setting right here. Can they switch it from one side to the other? Because that'll unlock a better organized team.
Mexico with it. To Campo.
Did you copy that?
To the outside. Mayor. Her first touch and touches going forward. Good movement. Finding Cuellar with a shot. First test on Nicole Barnhart, goalkeeper of the year in the NWSL, playing for FC Kansas City.
And those are 2 former teammates. Cuellar did play with Nicole Barnhart on KC before she got traded to Seattle, so Barnhart knows what she's going to see, and that Cuellar prefers her right foot. But with Mayor, we're getting to see a younger version of Maribel Dominguez, number 16. She loves to run at players. She's only played 26 games, but she already has 6 goals.
Forgot to mention Cuellar scoring the first goal in NWSL history, so it'll always be the answer to a trivia question. Hopefully this league lasts a very long time. U.S. tapping it forward. Leroux. A 4-goal first half. Pretty much everything she touched went into the back of the net. Right side for Dunn. That cross is going to be deflected out for a USA corner kick.
Well, I hope that we get to see more from Leroux this half, other than obviously putting away more goals if that happens. But setting play, she's very good back to pressure.
Going over the short corner. From the outside, O'Reilly left it off. Nice move there by Holiday. It's tackled out. Be a throw-in for the United States. Good performance tonight from Holiday. One of those players that got more playing time with the national team as well as with the club team, and that great year with the club team will translate here. Up it's going, and Santiago makes the catch. Tough for a goalkeeper when you're involved in these games. You saw 16 shots and 13 on goal, so a very active first half for Santiago.
But if you can stay positive and realize who you're playing against, and you're going to be turning 19 shortly, if you can get through it, if you can get through that, you're going to be much stronger in 11, 12 months when you see this team again.
Running it is Timrek into the middle. Look at Leroux take that one over. Finds O'Reilly. O'Reilly to the end line, trying to play it back, and Santiago as well to block that. If that goes across the frame of goal, somebody has to tap in. Mexico back on it. They need more possession here.
O'Reilly looking to take on Robles out left, does that one signature move, beats Robles, but unfortunately unable to pull it back, and Santiago is too good of a goalkeeper to leave her near post open. And again, keeps it in bounds, even though she does a little bobble. Doesn't make it go out of bounds and give up a very dangerous corner kick, especially when you're facing Wambach and Leroux and you're having to defend that.
The U.S. will move it on the left. Rampone. Timrek. Dispossessed there. Warbis coming back from Mexico. Taken down and fouled by Carly Lloyd. More on Mexico's young goalkeeper Santiago. Jen Hildreth.
Goalkeeper, I can tell you that you obviously want your defenders to do your work for you, but you're also competitive. And when you're facing an onslaught of shots, it can actually help you get on your game. And it brings out those competitive juices in you. So she may not choose to have 16 shots coming at her, but it certainly will fire her up and keep her active. And Kate, as you said, help her keep getting better.
I wonder, Kate, if we'll see the other goalkeeper, Tahana, if they'll split him up like the U.S. did, or just give the young player the chance.
No, I think Santiago is their number 1, and he is going to use these 90 minutes to get her more experience at the highest level, facing some of the most powerful shots coming from different places.
The U.S. will push it all the way back. Mexico has Paulina Solis ready to come in as the next sub. collegiate player in Mexico. U.S. will get it back. Left side, U.S. Timrak. Wambach turning it now, facing goal, finds Timrak, puts her through. Timrak played it across, passed up a shot. Not a bad idea. The execution was off, and Mercado takes over. Gave it right back to Lloyd. Quick transition for the U.S. Advantage call, Wambach. Timrak holds it. This time was going for her own shot, and Santiago got a piece, but not all. It's going to roll out. Last touched by the U.S., so it's a goal kick for Santiago. How is Timrak looking at you tonight?
Well, Timrak, she looks confident. Play before, she gives up for a pass. This time she says, I'm going to be a little bit more selfish, see if I can be a little bit more successful and maybe get on the score sheet. But I'm impressed with her. She's just, her ability to run at players. Maybe this game doesn't expose that because it's so wide open and she's not really 1v1 battling it up and down the flank.
Christy Rampone's coming out.
But you do see it.
Yeah, to be replaced by Rachel Bueller. And the captain's armband went to Wambach. Well, they know what Christy Rampone can do, so there's no sense playing her 90 minutes after the long season that she has had.
Well, Coach Tom Sermanni also is going to start to phase these older players in and out of games. In fact, Christy Rampone and Abby Wambach didn't even play in the most prestigious tournament, the finals in Algarve in March. He let other players have that experience. So I don't think we're going to see the days like we used to under Susanne Hagi, where you saw players play every single minute for game and months on end. He's got to manage them. Yeah, they're older.
A little more depth on this team, too. And Abby Wambach was telling us yesterday, she said, we, meaning the U.S., have 2 sets of starters.
She's not that far off. I think this is the first time where the U.S. women's national team has this much depth and this much personnel, because they're all healthy for the most part and they're in form.
Still waiting for Mexico to make that change. We were talking before about Timrak. Just read that she's going to be going to Bayern Munich until December, so that'll be a great opportunity for her to continue her soccer education. It's been an interesting 2013 for her. And U.S. with a touch comes back, pushed all the way back towards Rachel Bueller. Her team won the championship on Saturday. Portland Thorns beating the Western New York Flash 2-0 in a very physical game. Right side, it's done. Trying to go inside and out. Did earn a corner kick for the United States. Last one they played short. Let's see what they do here. Now we're going to see more switches being made. Solis will come on. Renee Cuellar comes off. And the U.S. will also make a change. Yael Averbuch will be coming in. And Carter Lloyd comes out. Averbuch is the only player from Europe that was called in. They purposely did not call in any of the European players, but Averbuch was already going to be here for a wedding. So here she is, and she'll get some minutes with her team. She's been playing overseas in Sweden. So here's the USA corner after that substitution was made. Floated up there. Averbuch almost got to that on her first touch. There's a quick shot taken in. It's loose. Quick one. And a goal for the U.S. It's 6-0. Rachel Bueller. They've gotten to every loose ball tonight.
When defending corner kicks, you can never let the ball bounce and not be contested in the box. Santiago comes out, does an excellent job punching out of pressure, but Heather O'Reilly seals it, and Rachel Bueller is there for the rebound. So good at turning. Most of her goals have come from those type of scrums in the middle off of corner kicks. Just a big, strong player, and always wins in the 4v4 tournament because of goals like that during training sessions. She's very opportunistic when she's 6 or 8 yards from the goal and usually puts it away.
Well, 5th international goal, and now her teammates are cheering for the newcomer. Leanne Robinson makes her international debut. She replaces Crystal Dunn. So there were 3 uncapped players on the roster at the start of the night. Tom Sermanni has found a way to get a couple of them in there. One is a starter, one is a sub. There's still one more if he goes that direction. That's Vanessa DiBernardo. And if that name sounds familiar, her dad used to play for the New York Cosmos, the old New York Cosmos of the NASL, and also for the U.S. national team. Here for Mexico.
What I like is that the standout players in the NWSL are getting called up here. I love that there's going to be some translation to how you perform in the league may dictate whether or not you get called into rosters, whether or not you're still on the national team. That's the only way this league is going to work. If U.S. Soccer is going to subsidize it, I love that Tom Sermanni is using that as a training ground to test his proven players and to see who can handle and go up against them and do well, like a Tim Rack, like a Robinson, who Lauren Holiday says is the best 1v1 defender she has faced in a long time.
Have to trust the domestic league. Jurgen Klinsmann and previous U.S. men's national team coaches have done the same, rewarding players in Major League Soccer with national team call-ups, and Tom Sermanni is trying to do the same. LaRue. A couple more nice moves. Tough to get the ball away from her. Averbush trying to go hard at that. Taken away. Mexico looks to counter. Mayor couldn't get through. Cleared by Robinson. All the way back. Race for the ball. O'Reilly is there. That's Mercado. Running it upfield for Mexico. It was 4-0 early. Then a fifth goal, and then a sixth one. 5 goals in the first half, 4 from LaRue. Wambach too far, trying to find Heather O'Reilly.
And she knows she could do better. That's too straight of a ball, a little bit too much heaviness when she weighted that pass, causing it to run out of bounds. Abby is technical enough where next time she might want to bend that ball with the outside of her foot, but she knows.
She's 33. She'll be closer to 35 at the next World Cup, but that's her goal. That's the one thing she has not yet won. That one trophy.
Well, it's the same thing that Solo said. She's like, I want to retire knowing I did everything I could to win a Women's World Cup. You know, they're poised to do that with the amount of depth they have right now in the squad, the players that are injured, the players in Europe, and the youth system. This is the deepest I've ever seen the national team be.
Timrak on the move to the feet of the speedy LaRue. The back heel, the cross from Lewis. More creativity from this young U.S. team. Bueller tried to work the give and go and does successfully down the left flank. Nowhere to go. It's deflected out. Should be a U.S. throw-in. Bueller getting that last goal after the forwards scored the first 5. Timrak. Nice cut to the outside. End line cross. She should have in the corner and does.
She just glides past through players. A former figure skater, she always looks like she's just skating out there. And the one thing about her is she actually gets faster as she's dribbling. It's almost like the ball is pulling her. Watch her pace on the ball and off it, and you'll see a stark contrast.
'60th minute off the corner from Holiday. Santiago didn't get it. U.S. cleared it over the bar. Wambach always in there for those challenges. Her goal started it in the 11th minute. LaRue got the next 4. Bueller scoring in the 55th. And that's where it stands now. It's 6-0 over Mexico. Far side of the field, U.S. collecting it. Trying the longer ball. O'Reilly. A lot of players' roles have changed a little bit here with those subs made by the U.S. No Rampone at the back. No Lloyd in the middle. Be a throw-in for Kenty Robles. Possession didn't last long at all there. In the middle, the U.S. collects. And then it's given away on that turnover. Veronica Perez, 4 on the attack now for Mexico in the green and white. And that last pass failed.
Ocampo usually runs down most of those balls, but it's just played too far wide. Wasn't going to win that foot battle against Sauerbach, and she holds up. But if I'm Mexico, I'd want her to run onto that. You're losing 5-0. You need to do something to get into this.
Coming back the other way, it's LaRue. Sees this long run up that right flank. U.S. looking to establish possession in the attacking third. And that's given right away back to Mexico. Long run made by Leanne Robinson. At age 27, make your international debut. That's late for many.
Well, Coach Tom Sermanni said she knew that this was kind of her last year. And I talked to her club coach. She needed to make the team now. They're going to be training for a year or two before Coach Tom Sermanni selects the roster. So she made a push in the offseason. She's comfortable with the ball. She loves inserting herself in the attack. She was a big reason why Kansas City was so successful this year.
Mewis running it into the box, drives it, and Santiago is frozen there on the goal line. If that shot's on target, it's probably 7-0. Here's an interesting substitution. Sofia Huerta will replace Veronica Perez. Jen Hildreth, you have a lot more on Sofia Huerta, who we met yesterday.
Yeah, she could be a player for Mexico to provide a little bit of that spark. She actually tried out for the U.S. U20 team, did not make it, and then got picked up and got an opportunity with Mexico. And I asked her yesterday if, you know, she comes into something like this with a little maybe chip on her shoulder, something to prove, and she sort of waffled on it, which tells me she does. So she plays collegiately at Santa Clara. Perhaps she can get Mexico going a little bit offensively here tonight.
Well, we'll see if she can, Jen. Kate scored 3 goals in the Under-20 World Cup, and she's a player that might be able to make a difference for them. 4 players from colleges that we mentioned were in season right now, and some big name colleges as well, especially Santa Clara over the years. They've had some very strong teams there under Jerry Smith.
And I talked to Brandy Chastain about Sofia Huerta, and she said, you should just see her run. She's so fast and so physical. And, you know, she didn't exactly have the best tactical coaching growing up. Came to the game a little bit late, so she's trying to catch up, and she's at a great university to do that. But she does have a chip on her shoulder. She wanted to be considered one of the best in the United States, wasn't. Now I can see her want to make an impact tonight.
Wambach, it's good that she's getting an opportunity. She's from Boise, Idaho. Her dad is Mexican, and that's how she was able to be eligible to play for Mexico. Bueller on the switch. Robinson brings it down. Played for 3 clubs in the old WPS before joining the new league this year. So she's been around with experience, but first game with the national team.
But she's improved so much. She took the onus on herself to get better crossing the ball, feeling comfortable dribbling, and then doing it for 90 minutes, getting up and down that flank. One of the fittest players in the league I saw this year.
Off that last foul, it'll be a free kick for Mexico. Only 10 fouls in this one. Pretty tame, calm game compared to the NWSL final. What do we have there? Half dozen yellows and a red card.
It was a card fest.
There's a long ball played in. Barnhart off the line, edge of the box, an easy grab for Barnhart. Trolling really helped Barnhart because when you play behind Hope Solo, you're not going to play a lot. So establish herself as not only the #1 goalkeeper for her team, but ended up winning goalkeeper of the year for the whole league.
Right, it's like just bad timing. She could be a starter on every other national team in the world, but she plays behind Hope Solo, who is the best goalkeeper in the world. So athletic, unbelievable hands, cuts down angles. It makes it almost impossible to find the right one, right shot that could beat her.
Coming all the way back now to Barnhart. Age 31, she's been the backup at the last couple of World Cups and Olympics.
The special thing about Nicole Barnhart, she will use every piece of her body to stop a goal. It could be her shins, which I think might be the place where the ball hits most of the time, but she keeps the ball out of the back of the net and is so solid and dependable.
Averbush, terrific ball for LaRue, chipping it. Tough angle. What a pass though from Averbush. Sydney Lewis running like the game just started, but 6-0 lead, and you've already gotten 4 goals. I think everything you touch turns to gold.
But look at Averbuch running onto the ball, picking her head up, like putting it through a needle, through a seam, like just seaming it in there. It's just an incredible pass. Averbuch is known for ability to shoot from long distances. Every free kick, she can just hammer that thing with the cannon of the leg and make a good goal-scoring opportunity. But now we're getting to see her playmaking skills. She plays in Sweden, so we don't get to see her a lot in the United States. But she's been a great player all through college, and now she's trying to make an impact and be on this roster more often for the national team.
Probably a coaching change benefits her, I would think, with Sermanni and a clean slate.
I like that. It's exactly what it is. Make brand new opinions and impressions into the coach's mind. Especially at holding center mid. Shannon Box will not be back until early next spring when she has her baby. So now you have Carly Lloyd who can play there. Becky Sauerbrunn dribbling forward who can play there. And Jana Averbuch.
Here's Lou at the end of this, in the air. Where you mentioned she's so good. We've seen that tonight, just not that time. And Stephanie Mayor has a bit of an injury. Second half sub is down. What a night for young Sydney Leroux, age 23. Great year with the Boston Breakers and a career night at RFK.
Well, she puts herself into anything and into every space that she thinks that she can run onto and be successful. First 2 goals, just pure hustle and reading the play. And this one, just getting anything on it, going against the direction the goalkeeper is facing. Wasn't a tough shot, but it was accurate. That in the air, rebounds, air, slop balls. She's done it all tonight.
She may not be done, assuming that Tom Sermanni lets her stay out there. Started the night with 17 goals. Add 4 more to that total. She's making a claim for more minutes, and who knows? We mentioned Alex Morgan started the same way. I mean, you could definitely see by 2015, maybe she starts with Morgan, maybe Wambach drops a little bit deeper back. I mean, there are a lot of things that could happen also between now and 2015.
Well, it's about the relationship of the 2 front runners if he goes with the 4-4-2. It's what they can bring out each other. And are those tangible qualities that you want against your opponent, against a big, strong Norwegian team? What do you want to play against? Do you want it to Abby Wambach? And you see Alex Morgan on the side right there.
Could they play a different formation? Could they play with a 4-3-3 and keep them all up higher now?
I would love to see them in a 4-3-3. I'd also like to see them in a 4-5-1 and have 2 holding midfielders. And then there's so many creative attacking personalities on this team. Imagine if they just had free reign to move wherever they wanted because they had 2 holding mids behind them. This team, I have never seen the depth this high because so many players are playing so well. You just hope they can continue that for the next 2 years.
The Pro League definitely helps. Down this left flank, Timrak. Mewis. Averbuch pass finds Timrak. Rachel Bueller. Open is Mewis. Staying on this left side of the field. Now at the end line, the cross. Not enough on it to the end, and then the clearance by Mexico. Taken right back by Bueller. Chased by Huerta. And that's going to roll out. Ball belongs to Mexico. And they're throwing deep in their own territory. Ari Romero from the University of Nebraska in her senior year. Throwing's not going to take place though from there. Several yards deeper. And deeper. 70th minute, a 6-0 lead for the U.S. It was 5-0 at halftime. If you joined us late, Mayor, who was injured a few minutes ago, apparently okay, involved in that last challenge. You see another substitution. Morgan Bryan is going to come in for Timrak. How would you evaluate now that her night is complete? The debut of Erika Timrak.
Well, it's an excellent debut, and they put her in a chance to be successful. Only 1 practice, 1 game against, let's be honest, an inferior opponent, judging by the scoreline and how the performance has gone. Oh, look at Morgan Bryan's teammates from Ruggiero cheering her on. So excited for her to get her cap in, her 2nd cap. But if I'm Timrak, she was given every chance to be successful. She wasn't put in a situation where she can be intimidated because the camp was short. The off factor was limited. She comes out of this game unscathed. She'll be much more comfortable going into her 2nd camp.
saw the UVA team in the stands. For more on that, Jen Hildreth.
Yeah, Morgan Brian, another player who won't be intimidated. And as you can see, she has a ton of support. Her entire Virginia Cavalier team took a bus over here today to support her. I talked to her coach, Steve Swanson, this week, and he just said it made such a huge statement of how supportive this team is of Morgan Brian, because she really missed a good amount of time last year, as did he, as the head coach of the U20 U.S. team that won gold in Japan. And to have them all come out here and support her, he said, just meant the world to her and to the rest of the team. Good statement.
Yeah, good statement and a good start for her to her college career this season. A couple of goals, 3 assists in 4 games played for UVA. This is her junior season. Huerta's on the ball, giving it up on the right side to Mayor. U.S. Wambach. Averbuch. Others try to join in the attack for the USA in white. Mexico in the green and white. Switch by the U.S. towards Robinson. Run made by Sauerbrunn to support her. Averbuch up the middle again. That middle is wide open. Wambach taps it back. U.S. shoots it. It's deflected. And another goal for the United States. It's Morgan Brian. UVA is thrilled.
There's so many wonderful parts of the build-up we're seeing, and at Wambach, such a good playmaker, knows when to lay it back, play the way she's facing. Morgan Brian is known for being so controlled on the ball, has an excellent first touch, able to push it far enough away from the body, and with a quick release is aided by a little bit of a deflection, which I think helps it push it past Santiago. But what a way to come into. This game is giving so much confidence in showing the new players in an easy, successful way what it's like to be on this team.
Well, it's her second game, her first goal. In her first game, she saw Abby Wambach, her teammate, make history. So she'll remember her first 2 games, not just her first for the U.S.
That's going to be hard to live up to.
I would think. I would think. What's next? This is what the USA was averaging this year, 3.27. That'll boost that already incredibly high average, while the defensive numbers will also drop. This is U.S. and it's over the bar. 74th minute. U.S. looks like they want to play another game after this, and Mexico probably can't wait for that clock to strike 90. You play on so many great U.S. teams, so you were never on the end of scores like this or domination, shots on goal like this, even against some of the better teams that you guys played against.
No, definitely not. And it's something that I luckily did not experience internationally, but I did experience on my one of my club teams, and it's just hard. But the key is you can learn something from that experience. Just stay together, be positive, and try to keep fighting, because you know what? Next time you're in it, you might handle it a little bit differently, because you only know if you go 100%, and that's where you find those lessons.
Brought down by Mexico. Mayor. That one rolls in, and it's wide. Nicole Barnhart. 75th minute. She'll put her back into play. Had 10 shutouts this year in the NWSL. Mexico's best chances came so early in this game. And once the U.S. started scoring, that was pretty much the end of Mexico's offensive opportunities.
Yeah, had Mexico just kept the pressure up front, but also just was a bit more organized defensively and sat in the passing channels that were going for Wambach, let them have it out wide, but defend tougher in your box. The scoreline wouldn't be this high.
LaRue and company looking for more. To the outside, Holiday. Intended for Averbuch, taken away, Mercado, and Mexico on the counter. Huerta's upfield, but it's knocked away before that pass could be made. Pushed away by Brian. Kept on the ground for LaRue. Mexico has cover there. Mercado, Mayor, Huerta on the turn. Going to the outside, and finally they're able to get upfield and try to stretch that USA defense. Knocked for by Robles, showing the speed that she has. Where does she go from there as the U.S. angle her away from the play and knock it away? LaRue dropping it back. Runners go in both directions. And the idea was good, but that pass was deflected. That time there were almost too many options for the U.S. Where do you put that next ball?
Paradox of choice, right?
It's Leanne Robinson with his throw-in. It's deflected out again by Mexico. Trailing 7-0. Last time these two clubs met, it was a 4-0 USA win. Down this left flank. The run is being made. And Bryan did her best to try to keep it in play, but it goes out. She scored that last USA goal to make it 7 on the night. 77th minute. All USA. Rue's hat trick came in about 20 minutes. Those goals, the first and fourth goals. Wambach cutting ball in. It fooled just about everybody except for Warbis. And she will clear it out for a throw-in for the United States. See some tired faces on the players from Mexico. It's been a lot of chasing tonight. Into the box it comes and cleared by Mexico. Cut off there. Bryan dropping it back. Bueller to the outside of Robinson. Outside backs on this club still inexperienced. The ones that are out there right now gaining some experience tonight. You still have two veterans anchoring things in the center, even though Rampone has left the game.
And you have two anchors that aren't here as well on the wide. You have Ali Krieger, who is playing in Sweden, that's not here, trying to still regain her form from her ACL tear and is almost there. And they have Amy LaPelvet, who had ACL surgery early in the year and is still not back to 100%. But those are two names we haven't said tonight. And then Whitney Engen in Europe.
Bryan up the middle, thinking about it, lets it rip, but it's right at Santiago. She spilled it for a moment, and LaRue could have had 5 goals if there was any more separation of that ball and goalkeeper.
Morgan Bryan takes a touch, looks up, feels confident. Santiago did not probably expect that LaRue was so close to her, so she does a little drop and then collect the ball and move forward. She almost got punished for being a little bit too casual. Do not underestimate the speed of LaRue. Probably the only one that has a little bit more explosiveness is Alex Morgan.
Intended for Mayor, cut off. Long ball from Bueller to LaRue. It's 1 against 3. Cut off. It was well done by Murillo, but it's given right back to Wambach. Another big mistake for Mexico. Let's see if they get punished for that. Instead, it was given away by Holiday. A rare giveaway for her tonight. Ocampo, great idea. Huerta made her run to stay onside. Did well. Huerta in the box. In that collision, she went down. An easy play for Barnhart. She did well, though, to stay onside.
Well, Huerta did a great job trying to cut it in to increase her angle on goal. She had a better shot, and it's just a straight shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Huerta lost her footing, fell to the ground. Not a call, not a penalty. The referee was correct in not doing so. We're going to see the speed of Huerta, the forward at Santa Clara. That's a great addition for Mexico to have somebody that's willing to make those runs. And in their case, bring her off the bench late in the game to have that kind of speed.
Santiago had an animated conversation with Murillo. There's young Huerta. One of those under-20 World Cup players. Mexico's only been in a couple of full World Cups at the senior level, but the under-20s, 5 of the last 6 they qualified for, and the under-17s as well. So at some point, they will be an improved side because of their youth, playing in all those big tournaments.
And remember, they don't have their full squad here. There are also some players, Diana Borza, that's not here, that played in the league that wasn't on this roster.
Huerta. Mayor was calling for it. Huerta leaves it off. Mercado. In the middle, Ocampo. Played it outside. Let's get a return ball. It's not coming yet. From the back, cleared by the U.S. Sydney Leroux. A 4-goal night for her, 7 for the team. In a domination over Mexico. Wambach. Everybody getting a touch. Aberbush from distance lets it rip, but that's well over the goal of Santiago. Aberbush, another one of those UNC players. So many of them have made it to the national team and have won so many championships there under Anson Dorrance.
Well, they just groom a mentality there, and once you have that baseline and then add the technical, what she has, and the tactical is probably her biggest strength, you kind of have the framework to give yourself a chance to end up on the national team. You just have to be careful here. Mexico's giving you the whole entire field. Basically do carte blanche what you want. Make sure you still make good decisions so Coach Tom Sermanni can see that you can transition and your skill can translate when you're going against a tougher opponent.
Leroux has it knocked away. We throw in for Mexico for Romero. Mercado got it forward. Ocampo, good wheels. Huerta's with her. Huerta with another run that I thought was good, but the offside flag went up. She's been active though since she's come on.
She's made a difference. She's making the United States backline honest. They have to make sure that they're checking their shoulders, and they're really playing that fine line of making her offsides. But that's a well-timed run, just a fraction off. The ball is delivered a little bit too late.
It's Robinson. Up the middle. U.S. Leroux's pass for Bryant. One cut, make another. Takes it back, plays it across. Oh, Wambach went up high and hard for that one. Even in a 7-0 game, she will go up for any ball.
Well, she sets the tone for everybody, doesn't she? This is like her in the Western New York. She may not be scoring, but she makes everyone else around her because you feed off her passion.
There's U.S. I mean, some people might think, hey, that's a health risk for a ball played like that, a 7-0 lead. She went after it like that was the game-winning goal up for grabs. Bueller chipping it over. For Leroux. Couldn't get that last touch. Cleared out by Mexico.
But that's why JP, she scored more goals than any other player. That's the one player, United States does not have one player in the pipeline that can play like her.
No.
They have speedy, fast, unbelievably explosive Alex Morgan. You have Sydney Leroux with very similar tendencies, but add the aggressive part, and she can play on the wing. Lindsay Horan can do a little bit of everything. Kristen Press loves to dribble at people, but there is no one like Abby Wambach in the air.
U.S. The only player I can compare her to of all these years, in her prime, Michelle Akers. In her prime. But no one else.
But I love having at least there's one other player in history so we can tie the fans of the past with the new fans. But yeah, Mufasa, she ran into me in my first camp, and I swear I did not wake up for 4 days afterwards. Just a big woman who so could move like she was 100 pounds, just so light.
We'll have to try to play the ball through, but she was fouled. 85th minute. This outcome has not been in doubt since probably the second goal. So right now, U.S. is looking to not develop bad habits, as Tom Sermanni mentioned, and also, you know, they want the shutout. And lately, they've had to defend maybe a little too much more with Huerta coming into the game and Ocampo having more of the ball in the late stages. Clearance up the middle. Mercado takes it. Too far out for the shot. Ocampo gets closer, drills it, and that's over Barnhart. But it was deflected. So it's a corner kick for Mexico. In the 86th minute, Wambach, who's good in the air, both sides of the ball, wins a lot of these and come back to defend. 4-goal night for Sydney Leroux.
Look for this ball to go away from the goalkeeper, trying to find Huerta, number 18 up top.
That's up and over. That went out of play. That's not the way they drew it up. Barnhart puts it back into play quickly. 86th minute, 4-goal night for Sydney Leroux. And here are your top scorers now in 2013. Even if Leroux wasn't up there before, she is now. And Kristen Press, a player to remember. 6 goals. She's leading the Swedish league in goals scored. She's a player that we haven't seen a lot of under Pia Sundhage, but I think you'll see a lot more of her soon. And she'll be looking for minutes up top too.
And she's hungry, and she can also play out wide right, which she has played for the United States. You have so many attacking players with so much versatility. Some can play straight striker, some can be out wide. You almost feel bad for Coach Tom Sermanni. He really has to figure out what he wants to play. But 6 games on turf in a tournament-style format against different opponents, he's going to love to have that versatility to choose from when selecting rosters on World Cup.
Disagree strongly with the turf. Should not be in place for the World Cup.
Have you called FIFA yet?
No, I have not, but I think everybody's against it. Hopefully somebody makes a correct decision. Should not be played on turf.
If this was the men's tournament,
sorry about that.
It wouldn't be happening. No. And that's why it's completely wrong.
On the far side of the field. Pushed back into the middle. Averbuch, another long distance shot that's well wide of Santiago. Good minutes still tonight for Averbuch in the middle of the field. Came in for Lloyd. Santiago will send this one upfield. Makes the halfway line, but it's coming right back. Leroux trying to outrun a couple of defenders. She does. The shot taken though was wide. I was still 1 against 3, but at the end of the day, her legs seemed fresher, and she wanted that ball more than anyone else.
Well, look at the power in her run. It's the 87th minute. She never played more than 20 or 30 minutes under Pia Sundhage as a sub, but look at her speed and the acceleration after she got going 2 or 3 steps. And with her left foot, her non-dominant foot. That's something that has improved because of the NWSL, the league. Her finishing got better. Her ability to hold the ball got better. Her being an overall soccer player, which was always very good and a little bit underrated in my opinion, but that improved as well.
Averbuch to the outside. Mewis. Mueller. Bryan turning. Left there for Bryan. Leroux drops it in the seam. Averbuch has help on the wing. It's Robinson. Wide on that right side. Trying to cut to the middle. It's blocked. Falls favorably. Averbuch off the left foot. Knotted down, but the flag was up. Everybody was looking for that ball, including Sydney Leroux.
But well done by Mexico. You know, it's the 88th minute, but they actually stepped up when the ball went backwards, back towards the United States. They did the right thing correct defensively. They took 5 steps up, and guess what? The United States lost their discipline and stayed in an offside position. But you didn't see that in the first half. They were too concerned about the United States players, so they sat back with them, allowing them to be onside. That's nice to see that improvement at this point in the game. They are beginning to learn.
Wambach, 20 in the white for the U.S. Cut off there. Mercado. Ocampo. Up the middle. Cut off there by Mueller. Bryan open was Leroux. Running at 3 other players. Cutting. Shooting, but it's blocked. Wambach. Knotted that one down. Look at that. She went in hard for that against Mayor. And again, we're talking 90th minute, up 7-0. Such a competitor. Such a great competitor. When she talked about her team playing in the finals, she said, we all played poor, well below average, including myself. That was honest.
That's one thing Wambach always is honest. What I loved about her was how, here's this best goal scorer in the world ever. And here she is, you know, if Coach Tom Sermanni asked me to play attacking center mid and farther away from the goal, I'll do it. I'll do anything to be on this roster. I will adapt my game to fit the USA's plans.
1 minute was added on here. So about a half minute to go. Looking for this ball, brought down. That was Huerta, has some help from Mercado. Mexico looking for just one before the game ends. On the cross inside, denied. And that might do it. Just a few seconds left. Robles knows it, in no hurry for this Mexico throw-in. In for Ocampo. Huerta. And that ball goes out, belongs to the U.S. We're past a minute of stoppage time. And that's going to do it. U.S. with a dominating performance tonight. Sydney Leroux, 4 first-half goals. About 20 or so minutes apart. Abby Wambach had the first goal in the 11th minute. That really set the tone for a U.S. team that seemed to struggle in the first 3 to 5 minutes of this game, but then the rest was history and a tough night for Cecilia Santiago. Kate, your thoughts on this one tonight?
Well, the two storylines was giving the young players experience in a way that they can be successful, get a little bit of confidence, they go into the next camp playing at a little bit higher level without the intimidation off factor. That's achieved. Timrak did a good job. Dunn was good. I mean, everyone played well. Mewis was getting up and down that flank, and she's had a couple more games. She's had that experience. The second thing is give Sydney Leroux a starting job and see what she can do with it. How does she play with Wambach? She got 4 goals. I think she proved that she can be called a starter on this team.
Well, the good thing is that they didn't have to take any chances with Alex Morgan and her injury, so that was a plus. She and Hope Solo all smiles, exchanging greetings for the Mexican players that they dominated tonight. Final score of 7-0. 5 of those goals coming in the first half, a couple of them here in the second half. Sydney Leroux had 4 goals in the night. She is downstairs with Jen Hildreth.
Thanks, JP. Well, that was impressive. Were you having some fun out there?
Yeah, I think we all were. You know, it's great to be back with the national team. You know, it's been a while, so to get on the field and score 7 goals felt really good.
Well, with so much quality up front on this team, did you look at this tonight as a chance to show everything you could do?
Yeah, I think every single time I step on the field is a chance to prove myself, and you know, I have to thank my teammates for giving me amazing service, so I'm able to score.
What do you think allowed this team to be so successful in the attack tonight?
Our ability to get forward, for sure. Speed. Crystal Dunn is doing amazing on outside back, and I think everything's kind of coming together, and it's new. It's some new people, so it's nice to get a feel for each other.
Looking forward to a little time off, though?
Yes, I am.
All right, I think you've earned it. Congratulations, JP.
Thanks, Jen. A terrific night, to say the least, for Sydney Leroux. With Alex Morgan sitting and watching, she sees her team put up 7 against Mexico. We'll show you what happened tonight when we return to our coverage from RFK.
Pretty snazzy phone you got there.
Oh yeah, it's the new GS4.
Had this one about 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is vintage.
3-button doesn't work, but other than that, she's a trooper.
Right.
I like to keep it simple.
Well, if you want it simple, this has an easy mode. It puts only the things you use on your home screen. Makes your contacts easy to get to.
I like it. Got a birthday coming up, you know?
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Now, for a limited time at T-Mobile, get the Samsung Galaxy S4 for $99.99 down at activation.
Ingeniously uses radar to alert you to possible collision threats. And in certain situations, it can apply the brakes.
Terrific night for the U.S. women's national team. A convincing 7-0 win over Mexico. 5 of the goals were scored in the first half of play. 4 of those by striker Sydney Leroux. This all started in the 11th minute. Abby Wambach, you come to expect this from her.
Well, Christy Mewis makes a dashing run forward, is able to find Abby Wambach, who's unmarked on the top of the box, able to slot it home. And Lauren Cheney, again, finding Abby, but Sydney Leroux is smart to chase down the rebound, and she gets the first goal, but not the last.
We welcome you officially now to the Sydney